Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is March 20th, 2025, and there is a small chance that Ronald Araujo could be released early during the FIFA international break. Also, Barcelona's appeal has been rejected for the Osasuna match. And finally, the club are set to lose another academy player. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the news. Bad news that Espanyol thrashed Barcelona 5-0 in the semifinals of Copa Catalunya. Now if you don't know what Copa Catalunya is, it's a tournament that was established by the Catalan Football Federation in order to promote the sport of football in the Catalan region. Only Catalan teams participate in this competition. And well, the first semifinal was between Barcelona and Espanyol, where Espanyol won 5-0. Now, Barcelona had initially requested for this match to be postponed, but of course it was rejected. And since most of the team is currently on FIFA international break duties, and once they return, the calendar is going to be absolutely insane with La Liga matches, Copa del Rey matches, Champions League matches. Barcelona ended up sending substitutes from Barca Athletic, not even the starters, and substitutes from the lower academy teams, and they were all led by Sergio Milà, which is the Barca Athletic coach. And of course, the team lost because not only was it the substitutes of the substitute team, but these are players who have never played together, so it was pretty much a friendly match for Barcelona. But nonetheless, 5-0, it is a little bit embarrassing, but at the same time, no one really cares about Copa Catalunya. Anyway, speaking of match results, let's turn our attention to the FIFA international break, where we are going to be following what the Barcelona players are currently doing, because today Spain and Netherlands drew against each other 2-2 in the garbage made up Nations League. I know I always call it that. I will always call it that, where unfortunately many Barcelona players played, but fortunately they didn't play the full 90 minutes. For example, Lamine Yamal played 66 minutes, Pedri played 66 minutes, Cubarsí played 41 minutes. However, he was subbed out due to injury concerns. Initial reports are saying it's nothing serious, it is just a precaution. But of course, as always, we're gonna know more tomorrow once the player undergoes more medical exams. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, and hopefully there'll be enough reason to send Cubarsí back home so he can get more rest. Now, Dani Olmo played 24 minutes, and then Ferran Torres was not included in the squad. As we know, Ferran Torres was suffering some discomfort. They were saying it wasn't serious, but he was not included in the squad. Hopefully, it's still not serious, and hopefully this just means that Ferran Torres will get some rest. Now, as far as Frenkie de Jong, the Dutch midfielder played a total of 74 minutes, so more than his Spanish counterparts. But again, I guess the silver lining is that none of them played full 90 minutes. Now, the next match for Spain will be once again against Netherlands in the second leg, which will take place this Sunday, March 23rd. Now, another Barcelona player that participated today in the FIFA international break was Rafinha in Brazil's victory 2-1 against Colombia, which saw the return of Neymar with the number 10 jersey. The first goal from Brazil was scored by our own Rafinha from the penalty spot, with a late goal by the clown Vinicius Jr. Now, the bad news here is that Rafinha did play the full 90 minutes. And my guess is that he's going to play another 90 minutes next match, because the next match for Brazil will be against Argentina on March 25th, which is, of course, a very important match for Brazilians and Argentinians alike. It's, of course, the Clásico of South America, one of the most watched international matches in the world. Kind of like how Barcelona versus Real Madrid is the most watched El Clásico match in all of the world. Now, we do have good news, because, ladies and gentlemen, there is a small chance that Ronald Araujo could be released early during this FIFA international break. Now, Araujo is set to play tomorrow with Uruguay against Argentina, which is always a very entertaining match to watch. And the following match will be against Bolivia on March 26th. And while the report stating that there's a chance Araujo could be not used against Bolivia, given that Uruguay has taken 38 players to this FIFA international break, which could signal that Uruguay's coach will be making rotations. And most importantly, it's expected that he will make rotations during the match against Bolivia because A, it's not as important match against Argentina, and B, because they are going to be playing in very, very high altitude in Bolivia. So we could see a rotation because, of course, the players who will participate tomorrow against Argentina, they're going to be tired, and it might cause them problem because, as you know, running in altitude is very, very exhausting. And if you're already tired from playing a match against Argentina, then you're not going to be able to perform. So there is a small expectation that, or small hope that Araujo could be released before the match against Bolivia and that he could return home early. Hopefully that's the case because remember, Iñigo Martinez is injured. So if Araujo can return early, he will be well rested for the match against Osasuna. Now, the match against Osasuna, we do have news because, ladies and gentlemen, it will take place on March 27th. Yes, the Royal Spanish Football Federation decided to act as the clowns that they are once again, and they have rejected Barcelona and Osasuna's appeal. As you know, the Royal Spanish Football Federation decided that the match should be played on March 27th. Barcelona were against this because they're going to be without two of their most important players, Araujo, who plays on the 26th, a day before against Bolivia, or hopefully not, and Rafinha, who will be playing against Argentina on the 25th. And then Osasuna was also against this date because Osasuna have a match the following day on the 28th against Athletic Club de Bilbao. So both teams appealed this, but the appeal has been rejected, and the Royal Spanish Football Federation has decided to make a fool out of themselves and keep the match on the 27th, which is absolutely embarrassing. And this just goes to show why the Premier League will always be miles ahead of La Liga, because La Liga is ran by absolute clowns and incompetent people. Now, I do have faith in Hansi Flick, and I do have faith in this team that hopefully they will find a solution and will be able to overcome this and beat Osasuna and take home the 3 very important points. And I really hope they do, because after all, the best way to get back at these clowns is to win this La Liga, so we can rub it in their face that no matter all the obstacles that they throw at us, we will still emerge victorious. Now, the funny thing is then in the season 2016-2017, Real Madrid had a match that was postponed, and it was played between the fixtures number 37 and 38, something that Barcelona and Osasuna wanted to do in this case. They wanted to play this match between fixtures number 37 and 38. La Liga and the Royal Spanish Football Federation said no, because it would be unfair to other clubs. So this was, of course, brought up in the appeal, and you know what they said? They said, well, back then when we did it for Real Madrid, it was a mistake. Oops, right? No big deal. By the way, during that season, 2016-2017, Real Madrid played against Celta Vigo between the fixtures 37 and 38. They won that match with controversy, of course, because if it's not Real Madrid, if it's controversy, it means it's Real Madrid. And they ended up winning La Liga title, but hey, it was just a mistake. No big deal. Anyways, on to more bad news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona are set to lose one of their academy players, and it's no other than Pau Prim, the 19-year-old academy midfielder who has decided not to renew his contract with the club. It expires during this summer, June of 2025. And he has decided not to renew because he's not seeing a clear path of progression to the first team, given that the first team has so many midfielders and very talented midfielders like Casado, Pedri, Frankie, Gabi, Fermin, and of course Marc Bernal, who's expected to come back next summer. And seeing that he has no hopes of making it to the first team, Pau Prim has decided to leave, and it's reported that he's in advanced talks to seal his move to Al Sadd in Qatar, which is the former team of Xavi Hernandez. And it looks like it's going to happen. He's going to leave as a free agent this summer, which of course is an absolute shame, because A, the academy is losing a very promising player, and B, to go to Qatar at 19 years old, it's just sad, because in 2 years, nobody's going to remember who Pau Prim is, kind of like what happened with Unai Hernandez deciding to make a move to Saudi Arabia. Anyways, we'll end this video with the news that Victor Font has once again spoken out, and of course, as usual, has shot his shot against Joan Laporta, and this is what the hopeful candidate for Barcelona had to say. The majority of the club's social mass does not want relations with the best players in the club's history to be broken. Messi must return to the club and play a role that makes Barca bigger. Busquets, Puyol, Guardiola must be able to return to the club because the club belongs to all the culés, and it is not the club of those in charge and their friends and family. So here, of course, I do agree with Victor Font. I do think that Barcelona should always be tied to their former legends, and I really would hope to see those names like Busquets, Puyol, Guardiola, Messi back at the club in some kind of capacity. But my question is to you, would you like to see those players back at the club? If so, in what kind of capacity would you like to see? And of course, Victor Font kind of throwing a shot at Laporta there that the club should not be ran by friends and family, which, let's be honest, that's what Laporta has done. Now, Victor Font also criticized Barcelona's debt, saying the following: if things are not done right, we can put this unique generation of players at risk. We have a debt of 1.3 billion that needs to be reversed. We present an alternative to the way the club has been managed for the last 48 years. Laporta wants to change the ownership of the club. His malpractice could end up putting the model at risk, because if you don't take care of your health, you end up getting sick. So Victor Font saying that Joan Laporta wants to change the model of the club, which is owned by its own members, with his mismanagement, which of course here he is being, a little bit hyperbolic. I don't think Laporta is intentionally trying to change the model of the club. If anything, Laporta has always committed to keeping the club model as it is, which is owned by its own members. But of course, the debt is a big concern. 1.3 billion euros is a lot of money to have debt. Of course, all big companies and all big clubs always carry debt, but 1.3 billion is very, very large. Of course, Laporta has done a good job in reducing the club's expenses and increasing its revenue, but nonetheless, the debt has not been addressed yet. It's remained the same since the Bartomeu years, so we're definitely going to have to find a solution, because that does put the club's future at risk. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.